Dirk is 7 feet tall. This guy is 7'3", legitimate 7'3". He's a tree. When they were talking about, let's trade Dennis Smith and let's see if we can get, because at one point the trade was going to be with the Knicks. It was just going to be a straight up Wes Matthews for Tim Hardaway. They like Tim Hardaway. Wes is an older player. He's older than Tim anyway. They're very similar in a lot of ways, but they just want to make that deal. Then it became a bigger trade, obviously. It's just that. They were talking about getting Courtney Lee or getting Tim Hardaway or getting a player of that caliber in exchange for Dennis Smith. Instead, you got one of the 2 or 3 best power forwards, certainly maybe the best young power forward. He's only 23 years old in the game. That is a remarkable acquisition to be able to do that. And
no doubt about that.
And that's what I'm saying.
And I know you got to give up talent to get talent.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. There's nobody in the game who would say that Dennis Smith is worth Kristaps Porziņģis.
Right.
That Porziņģis is already an all-star, and he's a 7'3" all-star. Dennis Smith is a long way from being an all-star at this point. So he may eventually become a really good player. That may very well happen. But the thing is, you already know this guy's a really good player, and so I'm
just saying that from my perspective, if I'm looking at this trade and I'm saying that there's some degree of reticence that I have, it's just the idea that this was a high pick, and you did move him. You maximized value for him. There's no doubt, but you moved him partly because you wanted to move him. He
wanted to move.
Things were not working out for him.
He did not like playing here.
Yeah.
He was not coming back here. Now, eventually, he's tied to the
right.
Mavericks for several years, or he would have been.
And that's just, from my perspective and the idea of, building a franchise full of young talent, that's just disappointing.
It's disappointing, but here's what I'm going to ask you.
But I'm not disappointed in the trade. No, I'm not.
Porziņģis is 23 years
right.
old.
I'm not disappointed.
So you're not getting any older. You didn't trade him for a 30-year-old guy. You trade him for a 23-year-old guy who's already a star.
And I want to be clear on that. I'm just this is the devil's advocate element that I'm saying here. It's just disappointing that you had this 23-year-old guy who a year ago you were hanging your hat on him, possibly because
he's actually 21.
That's right.
Dennis.
I'm sorry.
Porziņģis is 23.
No.
You did get older. You got 2 years older.
You didn't get older. Yeah. You just got more experience, basically.
And I understand what you're saying, but what you have to be able to do is look past that. Here's for me the one issue in all this: is he gonna resign or not?
Right.
The Mavericks think he will. Obviously, they think he will. I asked some questions, and we'll find out what happens. But if he comes back, what they're trying to sell this is. And this was funny yesterday when it came up because Rick Carlisle had said, based on something that Donnie Nelson had said before, this is kind of like Dirk and Nash all over again. And as Carlisle added to that, only taller.